As we have studied the different what is software quality assurance, different activities, now we are going to study what is the ISO 9000 quality standards. Now, this ISO, it is an international standard organization of quality standard. Now, this ISO 9000, this is called as a family of standards. You've got different standards within this specific standard. Now, what is this ISO 9000 quality standard related to? This ISO 9000 family of standard, this is related to quality management. As we're focusing on software quality assurance, so this is also going to focus upon the quality management. Now, the quality management of the system that you're designing. Now, this quality management of the system, these are designed so that you can help the organizations that they meet the different needs of their different customers and the stakeholders. The people that are developing it, that is, they are going to be benefited to the stakeholders, and customers are the people that are going to use the software. Now, this international standard, now this as this is international standard organization, these standards are accepted worldwide. Internationally, they are accepted. So, this international standard, they promote international trade as they're acceptable by different countries by providing one consistent set of requirements that are recognized around the world. That is, as every organization has some specific goals criteria that they need to be met, so this organization has got the set of requirements that need to be met, and these are followed same for every country. Now, this ISO 9000, this can also help different uh, companies to satisfy its customers by meeting their requirements and having improvement within all those requirements. Now, this ISO 9000 describes a quality assurance system that can be applied to any business regardless to the product or service offered. It does not mean that if you're developing only some specific product, then only this quality standard is going to apply. This quality standard, these are made regardless of any product, no matter what product you're developing, no matter what type of service you're offering, no matter what technology you're developing, some specific requirements, these are set and they need to be followed. Now, if you follow this particular set of requirements when you're developing the software, then your software, it is going to be like a high end software, uh, as it is following the internationally accepted requirements. It provides the base level of a quality system, not a complete guarantee of quality. That is, when you're following this specific standard for quality assurance, this means that you're following some basic quality, but it does not mean that the entire quality of the product is the best. That it is following some specific guidelines. It has that basic capability of that software to hold in market. Now, this ISO 9000 is also addresses the different topics for management, for responsibilities, for quality system, how you review different contracts, how you make the design, how you're going to identify and trace different errors, inspection, testing. All of these things are there within the ISO quality standard. Now, there are different series in the ISO. The first series is the ISO 9000. This explains the fundamental quality concept. Now, when you're beginning with quality means you're going to have some fundamental concepts will be there that each and every software or service needs to have follow. After that fundamental, you can have some more advanced requirements can be there. So based upon this, the ISO 9000, this only focuses upon the first part, that is your fundamental quality concepts are followed. And this is also going to provide guidelines for selecting and application of each standard. That is, as there are different standards are there. Now, this is a family of standards, you're going to have multiple standards. So this is going to tell you how you need to identify that which particular standard you're going to apply. As a one, two, three different standards are there. So from this, which one is going, how you're going to pick and how that will be applied, that is going to be there within the first standard. The next standard, ISO 9001. Now, this is the model of quality assurance in design, development, product, installation, and servicing. So this is going to provide you quality assurance. Now the first steps are basically gathering all the requirements, making a plan. After that, the main steps are your designing part, where you're going to make prototypes or models. Development can be your coding. Production is the producing the software. Then installation at the customers and servicing means when you've completely deployed the software, then you need to provide different updates. You're going to provide servicing this. The next one is the ISO 9002. Now this particular series, this is going to provide a model for quality assurance in production and installation of manufacturing systems. Now the previous standard, it is focused upon the five different criteria, whereas the next one, it focuses basically on the two, that is the production and the installation of the system. So how you're going to focus now this installation and servicing, your installation and manufacturing systems, this is another focus, because when you're producing a particular software and when your installation, that is also a major step. So there is also some different quality requirements or standards that need to be followed. Then the next one is the ISO 9003. Now this 9003, this is a quality assurance in final inspection and testing. Now final inspection means when the designing is done. After the designing part is done, you're going to inspect your code for any type of errors. You're going to do the verification. You're also going to do the validation, so that you can trace each and everything back to the requirement that was stated by the end user. So this focuses upon these two criteria, inspection and testing. Then the next one is the ISO 9004. Now this provides guidelines for the application of standards in quality management and quality systems. So each and every series have got its each and you've got different applications for each and every series. Now this ISO 9000 and the ISO 9004, these are guidance standards, that is which is basically going to guide you how you're going to do. They are going to describe what is necessary to accomplish requirements within the 9000, within 901, 2 and 3 standards. So these are the standards, five standards within the series of ISO 90. Then the next topic is the software quality assurance plan. Now this software quality assurance plan, it is basically going to provide a roadmap. Now this is going to be a roadmap for what? For your software quality assurance. That is how you need to, when you're visiting a particular place that you don't know, you're going to take a map so that you know where you're going. So when you want a quality software to be developed, you also need a map for that particular, for meeting that your goal. That is called as your software quality assurance plan. You need to make a plan so that you achieve your goals. Now the standard identifies, the first was the purpose and scope of the plan. When you want the quality assurance, you need to know what is your purpose, that you want your particular service or the software that you're developing, it should be the best quality software. You need to identify that. Then the next step is the description of all software engineering work products. Now if you remember work products from the first unit, work products, it can be a model, or it can be also a document, or it can be a source code. So these are your different work products. So you need to have the description of all your work products. That is what is going to be developed. At the end of the day, when you're working on a particular software, you can have a model, you can have a document, you can have some source code. So you need to have description of all the work products. Then all standards and practices that are applied during software process. Now you have studied the different standard, the ISO 9000 standard family. Within this, which are applicable to the software, and what are the different activities that you're following, that you also need to have a plan for that. That is, everything needs to be documented. Then the next is the tools and methods that support SQA actions and tasks. Now we have studied there are different actions within the software quality assurance. Now for that, what are the different tools or different softwares that you're using so that you can meet the goals of your software quality assurance? This also need to be identified. Then the software configuration management procedure for managing change. Now why do you have configuration settings? For if you have got any changes within the software, you can change those configuration settings. If you've got another software installed, you need to make a configuration changes will be there. If you have another module installed, you need to have different configuration settings are there. You've got Wi-Fi configuration settings, you've got sound configurations, different configuration settings are there. Now why are these here? So that if there is any change within the system, those if you make those changes within the configurations, then that particular software is going to be supported, that is going to run flexibly. So you need to also have this particular thing. Then the methods for assembling, safeguarding, and maintaining all the software quality assurance records. Now within all the 5 steps, you've documented everything, you've listed everything, what you're using, everything is being listed. Now you also need to have a specific method so that you get to know how you're going to implement all of this, how you're going to protect all of this, and how you're going to maintain all your software quality assurance. It is not that you're just going to keep everything documented and throw it in a corner. You need to have different methods so that you can assemble, safeguard, and maintain all the software quality assurance records. Now these need to be there so that this can be used for future purpose for developing different other applications and getting the best ensured quality. So everything needs to be documented. So this is your SQA plan that is going to provide a roadmap for your software quality assurance.